Hello guys, how you doing? My name is Showunmio and this is Showunmio'clock. If you're here, I'm a registered midwife, and on this channel we talk about everything about career progression, midwifery, and also life in the UK. So in my previous video where I talked about how to migrate to the UK in 2025, I promised you guys I was going to teach you or tell you or update you on how to write your supporting information. If you do not know what a supporting information is, if you're on track job, there's an aspect where they say supporting information, but supporting information can also be a personal statement. It could also be an application that you're sending out. It could be anything to just sell yourself out while trying to make an application. So this information I want to give you is very essential, and you can use it in different scenarios, like in different situations, whether you're applying for a band 5 job, you're applying for a band 6 job, whether you're even applying for a band 7 job. This would get you an interview, trust me. This is done and tested and trusted. To be honest, I have my book here because I have listed out things so that I don't miss out on anything. And if you have done, or if you have any trick or tips that you also want to add, please do so in the comment section. Before we go ahead, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you get updates on when I drop video first, and also check out my previous videos and watch, like, and comment, guys. So the first thing I'm going to say is to write your supporting information, or to write an application or an expression of interest. The first thing I'm going to say is that know your word counts. Let's it be, I would recommend that it should never go below 500 words for your supporting information or expression of interest. I said it with all confidence. It should not go below 500 words. This is because if you squeeze your ideas or yourself in 250 words or less, you might not be able to sell yourself enough. So aim for about 500 to 800 words. I would not advise for you to go too much, too high, only if you really know what you're doing, because if you go too much, then you are then rambling, you are not going straight forward, you're then going all around, just repeating the same thing. And if you go too less, that means you might have not given yourself the opportunity to adequately sell yourself and to put enough information that would actually get you that interview spot. Read your job description. What is this job all about? So is it a band 6 job? Is it a band 5 job? What role is it? Some band 6 jobs are different. For example, if you're a nurse, it might be a care home job, it could be an accident and emergency, it could be a theater nurse job, it could be something. So read the job description to actually know what is expected of you. As a midwife, you might be a little bit lucky because no matter what job you are getting, there's some salient information that you should not miss out, same as nurses also. So you read the job description, the person's specification. So the person's specification says that this is what we are looking for in the person that we want to employ. So you can see they will talk about your leadership experience. You see them write sometimes in a tabular form essential criteria and desirable criteria. So if you have the desirable criteria, it's a way to flaunt yourself. The supporting information is to show them that this is who I am the best fit for this job, because these people would not even get a chance to see you first to say, oh, she's actually a good midwife, like I have the experience, I'm the best person for this role. But if at that point you do not sell yourself for that role, trust me, they don't know you. Even if they know you, you need to show that you are better than other people that they want to call, or you will be among the other people that they want to call. You understand? So that's why you need to read the job description and the person's specification, so that everything you are writing is going to be tailored around what they need. So it's not even all about what you know or what you need. Is how can you tailor yourself, what you are currently doing, what you have done, to what they actually need. Do you understand? Especially when you're applying for like an experienced role, like a band 7 role, you are talking about, for example, you are the midwife in charge, you've run a ward. You would frame it in such a way that they know that you have leadership experience, even though you have not worked in maybe that band 7 role before, but you will frame it in such a way that your current experience would be, you know, it will be viewed in that they would view you like, oh, this person has the experience you are looking for. Do you understand? So the third one, which is like number one, if you would want to start writing, like if you open your Word documents now, the first one you write is express your interest about the role. So it's just generic, like I am writing to express my interest, I am writing to apply for this role, I am writing, you know, you are writing to express your interest, I am, you know, for this role. So you write, I am writing to express my interest for the role of the blah 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 at the trust, blah 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 blah. So you are writing here, they know that you know the role you're applying for. You're not just sending random invites to randomly to everybody. So you write the name of the role, you write the name of the trust. This shows that you know what you are doing. You know, it kind of, okay, you're writing to this, to us. Okay, yes, this is actually addressed to us. It's different when your manager sends a letter to you and say, dear all. You're looking like it's okay, it's not me. But then when they say, dear Mary, you know that this dear Mary, it is me they're actually addressing that letter to. So you would, it's going to take a different form, you know, it's going to tell you that, oh, this is actually written to me. So that's what I would suggest for you to write. So the second thing is speak briefly, just briefly introduce yourself. For example, you say, writing to express my keen interest at the role of a band 6 midwife or band 5 midwife or a preceptorship midwife in your trust. You write the name of the trust. I am a midwife with over 1 year experience, or I'm a newly qualified midwife. You know, you just write those things. I'm a newly qualified midwife, I'm a registered midwife, I'm with over 5 years experience, with over 10 years experience, 13 years experience across. Where have you worked? Oh, I'm a newly qualified midwife who graduated recently from, you write anything. For example, if you're applying for a preceptorship role, they know they need students and newly qualified midwives. So you write that you're a newly qualified midwife so that they know that you are applying for this role. You know that you will be fit for that preceptorship role. So introduce yourself. Like now, I'm a midwife with over 5 years experience. So I write, I'm a midwife with over 5 years experience across different wards or across different settings. If you have worked in Nigeria, you would write when you work in Nigeria, usually I don't always say you write the first of all talk about your experience generically, and in the end of the email you just say, I have gotten I've done my OSCE, or I have done something. I don't want you to write internationally trained midwife at the beginning, because then it gives a little bit of prejudice. So when you try to sell yourself, you see what is going to sell in this role. So my years of experience, I've spent 5 years of experience, I've spent 6 years of experience, I have 1 year of experience, I have 2 years of experience. So if you have little experience, like 1 year of experience, you can say, I've spent 1 year of I have 1 year of experience post qualification, I've been a student, I'm a newly qualified midwife, you know. So just tell them, let them just know who you are, like at that point. So the second one I have here now is express your dedication in respect to the role that you are qualified. Yes, so you want to talk about, I'm interested in this rotational role, or I'm interested in this preceptorship role because I believe it will kickstart my career, it would help me to do this, you will do that, you do. You know, you would talk about what interests you about the role. Then also you will go deeply, like afterwards. The thing is, when you write finish, you can rearrange these things. Like now, in some application, I talk about my experience first. In some application, I would tweak it and talk about the role first. So just write out a draft, see how it goes, and then you rearrange it, you kind of fine tune it, you know, to make sure that you have the best, you know. That's why you did IELTS, to see that you've arranged the paragraphs connect perfectly well, to see that you have the best supporting information for this role. So you can write that you speak deeply about Yes, you speak deeply about your experience, your skills. So you can say, with the years of experience, I have done that. I'm able to manage people across different settings. You talk about high-risk patient. If you're a midwife, if you have done immunization, you talk about immunization. If you've worked in the theater, you talk about you've worked in the theater. Things that you've done, you kind of sell yourself in that paragraph. And also try to know how to paragraph your work. So let each paragraph represent a new idea or something you want to actually major on. So the first line, of like, now if I want to talk about my experience, now I'm saying over the years I have experience in you write it, then every other thing that you're writing in that paragraph will talk about your experience, so that it gives the reader interest in your work. So like I said, you talk about your experience, talk about your experience, talk about your leadership. If you've manned the world, you say, in my leadership capacity, I've manned, or I work as a midwife in charge, doing this, doing that. Talk about your teamwork, work with multidisciplinary team, your extra skills, like you've worked in the induction of labor ward. You talk about your experience. There you are actually selling yourself that this is actually what I can do already. You talk about soft skills like communication. I find it very funny that I was reviewing a CV for someone, and the person wrote, I think I'm able to communicate effectively in English. Like, they don't need that. You've passed your IELTS. Why do you need to explain to them that you can speak in English? That's the least. That's the least thing that should be on your, supporting information. So you want to talk about your soft skills also, not only the hard skills. You're talking about the soft skills. So the hard skills, that you have the phlebotomy, the cannulation, the ability to do episiotomy and episography. Especially if you're a student, those are the things that you can add. You can talk. If you're a student, you can go deeply to say that you've done postings, all the postings you've done, the things you've learned, the support you've given. That way, even though I'm a student, this is what I have done, this is what I have learned in my school, in my community. You're able to just sell yourself out, basically giving you some tips of things that you can talk about, how you can work with people, diversity. You talk about you talk about all those things: compassionate care, high quality care, holistic care. All these things that ring bells in midwifery. If you're a nurse, things that that ring bells. Even if you are maybe a pharmacist, or you are just applying for any job, things that ring bell in your area. Like, maybe you want to talk about your knowledge about safeguarding the drugs, doing all those. I'm just trying to kind of relate to other places, so that that this is not just for midwifery alone. You can add it to anything. Do you understand? When you are writing all these things, you are looking for salient points in your job description, and your supporting information. Like, now, there was a role I was looking at that talked about leadership skills. They emphasized on leadership, diversity, and this. And in the other role that I was looking at, they didn't say anything about that. So in that particular role, I made sure to add diversity. Make sure those points, those things they write there, you would throw it in, that they ring bell. Do you understand? So all those things that they mark as essential criteria. Like, now, this in one, they would say maybe you should have mentorship. You should have mentorship skills, or you should be able to mentor students. So you can just bring it in that I have been supporting students, I've been supporting newly qualified midwives. That's from, I'm talking about well experienced role now. Like, you can bring it in. If you are applying for a role of practice educator, you can talk about how you've been helping people to, in their practice. You've been a skill champion, you've been an ambassador, you've been this, you've been that. You've been signing people off. You've been teaching people. All these things you can actually add to your supporting information to make it look good, new, and stand out. Now, you also want to talk about your trust value. What are the trust value? How can you implement it? You can just write that, that I am happy, or you can just frame it in such a way that you understand that the trust talks about this and it aligns with your own personal values, you talk about that, you elaborate a little bit more on it. Because when you look at the trust value, sometimes under the trust value they kind of explain what they mean by their trust value. So those explanations, you can just tweak it together, turn it to a sentence or two, and just make sure it is there also. Then also you talk about your enthusiasm to joining the role. So I'm so excited to join this team. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to be with this team, and I'm confident that my skills, my experience would make me a great fit for this role. Your supporting information is just to sell yourself. Just go and look, peep at the person's specification, peep at the job description, and just transform it. You don't need to think too much. And what I would just say is, have a base. For example, if you're a midwife, have a baseline structure for your supporting information, so that you don't stress every time you want to go. So when you look at this person specification and the job description, you can add to it, you can remove from, you can tweak it, so that you are not always starting again. And one final tip that I'm going to say is, you can make use of AI to construct your sentences. I can say that I'm not the best in using official languages or using official sentences when constructing my sentence, because the where I've worked, where I've trained is not so much of a big deal. It's not so much of a big deal with the way you construct your sentences. So I might feel like I'm not so good in that. So when I write everything I think I've written, please, mind you, don't do copy and paste on AI, because if you are going to a larger recruiter, they have the way they filter these things. I don't know if they read it one by one, but I think there's a way they filter this application. So when you want to do it, don't just copy and paste on AI. Make use of AI in a smart way. So use AI. For example, I use 3 AI apps. 9 is free, that's the one by Google. I use ChatGPT, and I use Cloud AI on AI or something. Cloud Day on AI. Those are the 3 AI apps I use. So when you want to write things like that, I don't only use them for job applications or anything. I also use them in constructing. I use them in day-to-day activities, basically. Like if I just need to construct a sentence, or I need to construct a paragraph, or I need to optimize something, I just make use of AI. So AI is now part of us, to be honest. So I would advise you to make use of AI to your best advantage. Some people, if you like, you can copy, download this person's specification and the job description and attach it, and then say it generates a supporting information for me. But mind you, when it generates for you, it doesn't feel natural. An interviewer or a recruiter can automatically know that this is AI. So that's why I said, add your personal feel. Look at what AI is giving you and pick from it. There's sometimes that AI will give you an angle that you've not seen in the person's specification or your job description. So you will take it, add it to what you already have. Use the AI or all these apps like Grammarly, WordTune, or to format the sentence in an official language, so that your CV or your supporting information is going to stand out. I really hope that this makes sense to you, and this would help you in your endeavors or in getting the supporting information. I hope that 2 months to now, 3 months from now, people would come back to this video and say, thank you very much, I used this tip and I got this job. Thank you very much, I used this tip and I got the invite to the interview. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, and share to your friends. Like if you know friends that are at the job hunting stage, this is not only for people that are in the UK, it also applies to people all over the world, from Africa and everywhere. So if you have anyone that is trying to job hunt, just send this to them, and I know they would be very thankful for you. I wish you all the best. Till we meet again in our next video. Bye for now.